All right, now let's look at number 5. Number 5, we have what's the name of that shape?
Trapezoid?
Think of trapezoid? Anybody? You can even put it in the comments. I see I got everything on mute. So give me the name of that shape, this shape here, in the comments. What do you think it is? Type it in your comments below.
No.
All right. I'll wait for your answer in a second. So, anyways, they gave us the measure of a side, which is 4, and they gave us the measure of a base, which is 10, which both bases are going to be 10, right? What we need to do, though, is find the height, right? Because the area of this shape is base times height. That being said, we're going to take the 60 into account and create a triangle, right? So that triangle is here, right? We don't know what this is. We do know this, though. If this is 4 and this is 60, this becomes a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, right triangle, right? So our rules, the hypotenuse is 2x, right? This little leg here is going to be x, which is going to be half of 4, which will make that 2. And then this short leg is going to be x root 3, which is going to be 2 root 3. So the height is 2 times the square root of 3. That being said, the area then will end up being 10 base times height, 2 root 3, which will give you an answer of 20 root 3 as the area. Okay? You feeling all right? All right, we got a 4 more questions. 4 more questions. Now, this question was probably the most challenging one because there was so much going on in this particular problem.
Start on number 6.
Yeah, number 6 with the triangles. All right. Number 6 with the triangles. All right. So you got a triangle like so, and you got a circle inside the triangle. They want to know what the area is of the shaded area region. They didn't really specify that in the directions, which is my fault, but that's what was supposed to happen. Okay. And so they want you to take into account that these are right angles and stuff like that. Because these are all right angles, you're going to have a square. Like, you need to figure out what the other measures are in order to figure stuff out. You know that this is 2, right? Here is a square. This is a 2 by 2 square. So the base and the height is 2, right? We need that information. Now, everything here, these little pieces, just make sure you see it right. These little pieces here are going to be related to that piece, and this piece is going to be related to that piece, which means that if that's 4, this is also 4, and if this is 6, this is also 6. All right. And how do you know that? How do you know that? How do we know that? How would we say we know that? If that's 4, 10, that's 8. I'm not quite sure how we were supposed to know that. I guess you could look at this as maybe another triangle, right? If this is a triangle, this is a right triangle, this is a right triangle. These are, yeah, there you go. You got not similar triangles, but you got congruent triangles when you draw an extra line here. So you got 2 right triangles here, 2 equal right triangles there, right? They share this side. Since they share this side and they're both right triangles, then everything else is going to be similar as well. So because they share this side and these angles are going to be congruent because they're bisectors, that means that everything else is going to be congruent as well. CPCTC. Ha! All right, so you won't have a question like this on the quiz, so don't stress over this. Anyways, this is 2. We needed 2 to find the measure of this base, and then we needed the 4 and this 2 because this is a square, right? to find this height. So this height is 6, this base is 8. Okay? The height is 6 and the base is 8. All right? So for the triangle, the area is going to be 6 times 8 over 2. Right? And then for the circle that has a radius of 2, the area is going to be 4 pi. Okay? So to find the area, the measure of the shaded region, which is a triangle, you're just going to subtract 4 pi from, what's that going to be? 3 times 8 from 24. So it'll be, this is 24, this is that, and so your answer is going to be 24 minus 4 pi for the area. Okay. Number 8 is a lot less scary. Number 8 is a lot less scary. All right. So I hope when you have questions like problems that like just look like it's just a lot of information that may be left out and everything like that, when right angles are involved, you can definitely like draw lines through and everything like that. And remember, when you draw lines, more often, what you're doing is bisecting things. All right. So just trust your instinct when you're doing that, right? And then let's just see where we land after everything's done, after the smoke clears. So this is 16 by 16. All right, so you got 2 semicircles. When you got 2 semicircles, you make a whole circle, right? And so if the diameter, if all the way across is 16, then the radius is half of 16, which is make that 8. See? So then that's 8. And then you got this as a 16 by 16, which makes this area going to be 16 squared, 16 times 16. And the area of the circle is going to be 8 squared pi r squared, which is 64 pi. Okay? And so then to find the shaded region, it'll be 16 squared, which is 256. So it'll be 256 minus 64 pi. That would be your solution.
Got it right.
Yay. All right. Number 7, number 8. So we're on number 8 now. Number 8. Number 8 is a lot of fun, right? Number 8 is a lot of fun. Number 8 says basically you got to the ratio of the base to the height of a rectangle. Draw out what they give you. The base to the height of a rectangle is going to be 2 to 3. So the base is 2x, the height is 3x. Whenever they give you a ratio, they said 2 to 3 or 3 to 2. Whenever they give you a ratio, you put an x there to represent, you add an x to it to represent the measure of the side that we don't know. We don't know the measure of the side. We just know the relationship between the two sides is 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 ratio, right? They did tell us that the perimeter is 90, all right? So if we think about the perimeter formula, which is P equals 2 times the length plus the width, or the base plus the height. If we think about the perimeter formula, we'll just plug in what we have. We do have the perimeter, and we do have the ratio of the base to the height, which would be 2x plus 3x. All right. Now from here, we just have a algebra problem. We just combine like terms and then solve for x. So you'll end up with 90 equals 2 times 5x, which would be 10x equals 90. X is going to equal 9, right? X equals 9, okay? That's great. Now we know what x equals. We can take that 9 and plug it into the measure of the sides. Let me just do it up here. So it'll be 2 times 9 and 3 times 9, which will make one part 27 and the other part 18, right? So the perimeter is 90. The area then is going to be 27 times 18, which is 486. I think I saw that on Haley's. Haley, you got 486, didn't you? Now the last one. What's the last one? Where's that at? I want to see what it looks like. Is that? Yeah. Okay, here we go. The last one. We got a circle. We got a triangle inside of a circle. 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 All right, so this is a regular polygon, which means that this is a 60-60-60 situation. So when you draw a line here, it becomes a 30-60-90 triangle, right? You're gonna have to figure out what the radius is, which means that you're gonna have to figure out what something like this is, or something like this is, or this is, right? And so when you look at that, you just cut the triangle in half again, right? And so when this was 60, this was 60, it becomes 30 because you cut it in half. Okay, so we're gonna just put this little triangle here to the side for later. Everybody good with that so far? Y'all good with that? So we're gonna say this little triangle is this right here. We're gonna say little triangle, LT. All right, so that's we shelving that. We putting that on the side, and now we're just gonna take half of this big triangle, right? That's the big triangle, BT. All right, so the measure of the sides is 10, I think, right? So this is 10. So 10, 10, 10, right? So we just created a 30-60-90 triangle from this big situation here. We're using this to find the radius, little r. Okay, so anyways, if this is 10, this is the 2x side. This is going to be the x side, which is going to be 5, right? And so the height's going to then be 5√3. Okay, so the area of this triangle is going to be 10, because that's the whole base, times 5√3 over 2. Okay, which would make the area 25√3. That's the area of the triangle, 25√3. Okay, now we need to find a radius for the circle's sake. So we're gonna come down here. Now, this is this situation here. So what we do know is this is 5. 5 is on the 30 side. 5 is on the 30 side. With that being said, this will help me. With that being said, this is the x√3 side. And remember, when we talked about this before we left a while ago, if the whole number is the x√3 side, then the small side, or the short leg, is going to be that whole number times the square root of 3 over 3, right? So there you have your height. The height of this, or this portion, basically. This portion of this triangle. Yeah. So that's gonna be your center. What is your center? Yeah, that's your center. All right, that's your center. All right. So, with that being said, make sure I got this right. Got this right for you. Yeah. So that's this part. This is actually your radius right here. I'm sorry. So if this is the short leg, 5. The long leg is 5. The short leg is going to be 5√3 over 3. Then your radius, which is the hypotenuse, is going to be double that. So it's going to be 10√3 over 3. Okay? Yeah. So this is your radius. This is the radius for the circle, this part here. That's your radius. This is the area of the triangle. All right, so.
Your camera is off.
What happened?
Your camera is off.
Is it back now? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so our radius is going to be 10 root 3 over 3. That came from this triangle here. Okay, so now we have the measure of the big triangle, which is 25 root 3. We got the radius, which is 10 root 3 over 3. Now we need to find the area of the circle. So that's going to be, the area of the circle is going to be the radius, 10 root 3 over 3 squared pi. Right? 10 root 3 over 3 squared pi. Right? And so you would just subtract 25 root 3 from it. And there your solution would be. Okay, and if you wanted to take it a step further, you get like 100 root 3 over 3 pi minus 25. No, when you square everything. So that's 100, that's 3, and this is 9. So it's actually 300 over 9. 300 over 9 is what? Let's see. 300 divided by 9 is 33.3. So it'll be 33.3 minus 25 root 3. 33.3 pi. Pi. Right. So you got this, this. Remember, this is all square. Okay. So this is just one of them things where you just got to remember all your algebra rules, right? I left out my algebra rules. Whenever you square something, a fraction, you gotta square the top and the bottom. Okay. Again, I don't think you're not gonna have a problem like this extensive on your quiz either. All right. I just want to get your brain stretching to get ready for it, and so I'm gonna share the quiz with you on tomorrow, and you'll have until like Tuesday to turn it in. It'll be just like before too. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?